Podcast excellence since 2005. This is the King of Podcasts radio network, kingofpodcasts.com.
Here are your choices. You could gamble on a dating app and get hooked. Or you could travel to a dangerous destination as a passport bro.
We are all a little depraved and debaucherous. Here is the King of Podcasts.
We'll see how much we get into the program tonight. I might have to go and put a little bit short. We are recording this tonight on a Monday night because we have the election, the general presidential election here in America, and that's going to just suck the wind and the air out of everybody's time and interest in everything that's going to be happening tomorrow. So that I'm not going to be occupying my time trying to do this podcast tomorrow night when we're trying to figure out the next president of the United States. We're all kind of like pins and needles about that in here in America, and I'm sure all of you listening in probably feel the same way. But either which way, we're going to move on into our normal topics here. And tonight, online dating, passport bros, a couple of stories came in, so I figured let me go ahead and combine them together. Because for the alpha males out there, for the guys out there, you know, it's a shame that we have a lack of choices available here in America with the women that we have. It's obvious that the women here in America are disadvantaged here, disenfranchised, because the guys they prefer to go ahead and be around are the guys they can get to simp them, or they can friend zone, or they can basically just milk off of for discretionary income, or to basically support them completely. But the guys that would be ideal for them to be with, and of course the men would love to have if they were not caught up in that other cycle, that other pattern, we would have some men and women in harmony together. Beautiful men, young, handsome guys, you know, successful, both combined together in harmony, and have some couples out there, have some kids, have a life. But we're not doing that. So many young, beautiful girls now without the opportunities that are out there. You know, there was a thing 20 years ago, and we had ladies' night, and even farther before that, we used to have ladies' night everywhere, where ladies have been accommodated in the clubs. So then all the guys, if they wanted to get in and barrier to entry, you had to go and put some money down. Now the websites are doing that. The dating sites, the sugar daddy sites, and the premium parts of these websites as well. When you look at Tinder or Hinge or you know, they look at the premium they have. Tinder Premium, Tinder Select, $500 a month. Then Hinge has its own premium plan. And there's others out there that are premium. But there's no real interaction behind it. Still, you're getting behind a paywall. And you're not guaranteed to getting close to that girl. At least if you go to the club, you spend the money, you go get, you know, bottle service or whatever. Maybe you got a chance to get close, at least get a chance to interact with her in person. Looking your best, trying your best line out. Hopefully she'll catch on to it. Let's see what happens. And you're trying. And the effort's there. But then the problem is that you're not going to get anywhere with the girl because she's just not feeling it. Especially if you're trying to do it in person. It's very difficult. So The Guardian this week put out a story about Addicted to Love, how dating apps exploit their users. So an op-ed piece, a pretty expansive investigative piece about this. Critics saying that modern dating is in crisis. Dating apps, which have been downloaded hundreds of millions of times worldwide, are exploitative, not designed to be deleted, but to be addictive to retain users in order to create revenue. And there's been an observer investigation showing that dating apps are increasingly pushing users to buy extras that have been like the gambling products, costing hundreds of pounds a year. This is a UK story, by the way. Apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge now offer the prospect of more matches, more profile visibility, and more dates. We've talked about this. Just go back a few episodes. We've talked about it. You can go ahead and look. Just do a search. I've talked about it. Every time they did some kind of extra premium kind of deal with this plans, has anybody really been successful from it? No, I doubt it. Very rare if it is. According to The Guardian, 4.4 million adults in the UK use online dating platforms or services, according to data company Statista. A quarter of those users pay for the services, which makes about 150 million euros in annual revenue, and makes the UK the third largest dating app market globally, behind only the US and China. So you have adverts, you have different pricing plans, and just you're thinking something's going to happen, that you're going to get somewhere closer to finding someone, but we're not getting any of that. But now you're just getting freemium plans and then more plans to get some more extras and more perks to it. Like I said, the dating apps now, your traditional conventional dating apps are crap. Because now if they're going to charge you this much, if Cupid, Plenty of Fish, League, Match.com, all these others, and Tinder and Bumble and Hinge, they're all going to start charging you more. If they're going to start bringing their prices up to the level of Seeking, then just go to Seeking. Seeking at least gives you one price, access to whatever you want, no need for credits, no need for extra things in there. You just get full run of the whole thing. And I'm guaranteeing you the quality of women on the sugar daddy sites are better than what you're going to find on these traditional sites. Because you also get a lot of the same people that you've seen on these traditional sites that, they're broken. Honestly, they're damaged goods. And I'm not blaming them. I'm not putting them down because I'm damaged goods. It's very obvious. Why do you think I do this program? I mean, if I'm doing this program and I'm talking about things and stories that are depraved and debaucherous, number one right here, yours truly, king of podcasts. Yeah, I am depraved and debaucherous. Why do you think the show is on here? It's because I'm one of them. And I celebrate the fact that we are all depraved and debaucherous in various ways, to where we want to find some depravity and some debauchery by going through these dating sites. Obviously. So a source told The Observer about this here, that the apps are not geared towards matching people, but to keep them on platforms. The algorithm, based on what we can tell from the outside, is actually sending you false matches, not delivering the ones you could actually be matched with. Right. So they're on purpose making sure you're not getting a match. They're saying it out loud right here. For two reasons: to keep you on the platform, and to break down the users in terms of sending them matches that make no sense on any level, such as they think that they're the problem, and such as they're going to be incentivized to continue by escalating subscription costs, and do anything because they are made to feel like they can't find a match. This is a big deal. I'm glad The Guardian decided to go and put this story out there. Now, Match Group said, which is the owner of many different dating apps out there, the lawsuit that's being put out about this says it has no merit. Our business model is not based on advertising or engagement metrics. We actually strive to get people to dates every day on and off our apps. Anyone who states anything else doesn't understand the purpose and mission of our entire industry. Wrong. I think they're absolutely correct about this, that this is something more about everything else. So, Match, when they acquired Hinge in 2018, they launched it as the Standouts feature. A Standouts feature which effectively keeps people most of your type behind a paywall. So daters can on Hinge give you the profiles that the app says are getting the most attention, coupled with who we think you'll like, but cannot contact them without sending them a rose. And the rose, you get one free one a week, but then the other ones cost extra. Or you get a super swipe to contact a profile that says it might help you match, and also offers advanced filters and a more tailored experience for paid users, which all these perks are nothing. And most people don't really use them anyway. This is all bunk. I remember going through Hinge and Bumble and all these all the time and giving us pop-ups of like all these different things you could be getting from this. And Tinder in the same way. It's just not worth it. Natasha Schull is author by Addiction by Design, Machine Gambling in Las Vegas. She's comparing the vertical scroll of social media to the horizontal scroll of dating apps. Instead of going out to meet people in real life, she says, daters get stuck swiping left and right. The designers of these dating apps make it as easy as possible, like a slot machine. Right. And then she says, gamblers are always about this machine zone that they get pulled into where they feel like they're merging with the process. Sort of a trance-like state where there's texting or trading, mobile sports betting, or the dating. It starts to feel like this curious trance-like flow where you just can't stop and you're just like, let me keep swiping. Yeah. It is very addictive, and we do it on all these different platforms. And I would say go look for the story, and you'll find out how much more they're actually talking about this. But again, Addicted to Love, How Dating Apps Exploit Their Users. Go look for that in The Guardian. There's so much that's been run on that, but that's very well put out there. So if you don't want to use that option, okay, then you can go ahead and then opt for the other option, which is like, okay, you want to date, you want to find somebody you want to be with for the rest of your life? Well, there is the Passport Bros approach. We've talked about that on the program. But now we're hearing stories about that the Passport Bros phenomenon of dating abroad, you might catch yourself in some very dangerous destinations as of late. So just to give you a little bit of heads up about this anyway, Passport Bros, a group of men who claim they're fed up with modern Western relationships and set out to find partners overseas. It sounds romantic, perhaps even adventurous, but there's more to it than meets the eye. And Urban Dictionary describes the Passport Bros as men dissatisfied with Western women. By packing their bags and heading to foreign shores, these men hope to find what they deem as traditional and feminine women, essentially someone who makes them feel more like a man, whatever that means to them. Now, the story has come out from The Sun, UK, about men under 30 leaving the Western world to meet women in developing countries with fatal consequences. So there's a deadly trend, they're saying, lured by honey traps and murder for cash. And so we're getting this right now, and they're talking about it. Let's quickly play this clip for The Sun UK so you can find out for yourself.
Juggling bills.
Stocking shelves.
No time to delay. At least we have Lenovo.
Colombian women are the most beautiful women in the world, but they're also the most dangerous. You never know when they might slip in your drink.
Every passport bro I've met has had the same fear. It's a growing crime, and at least 8 men have died from being drugged.
You got scoped with me?
I got scoped here.
What happened?
2 years ago. That's the coolest part. I don't know what happened. I woke up without my shit. No, I took a girl on a date, and it was a Tinder girl. We're at my house. We're sharing a drink. I'm kissing her. And then I wake up at the next morning without my phone, iPad, and my wallet. Yeah. And then I thought to myself, I got got. How did this happen to me? I thought I was a G. That was my 3rd date that week.
Now, the thing is, you got to keep in mind here as well. The fact that what happens here is this guy decided to go and find a Tinder date, thinking it would be safer to go ahead and get a little bit of interaction with this girl before he decides to go ahead and meet with her, instead of trying to meet with him in person. The thing is that the passport bros are going to go out there. I don't recommend you find somebody online and then try to go and connect with them after that. I mean, if you're going to do anything, make sure you find a guy that you can find who can help you get around things, and make sure you pay him so that you're going to make sure to take you to the right spots and you can go to the right places. But then more than anything else, communicate with the girls when you meet them. Like, you don't need this other thing you're trying to do here. Go meet them in person and just go out there and find a way to just go and hook up. You don't need to be doing this part, what they're talking about. But some of these guys are talking about as well, they are going to exotic locations. They're, going more high price than where they're going for. So there's a documentary that came out of the dangers of the growing trend. We talked earlier this year about the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, issuing a warning to tourists after 8 suspicious deaths of U.S. citizens in the space of just 2 months in 2023. Right? We talked about that a while back. So in one of the scenes of the documentary they're featuring right now is that several of the deaths are pointed to possible drugging and overdose, and others involve the use of using online dating apps to just lure in honey traps. So they talk about where in one case, Jamali meets 2 women who drug and rob unsuspecting Western men like the passport bros for a living. And they use the deadly drug scopolamine to make their victims unconscious. So it's used in medical settings to treat motion sickness and post-op nausea. Larger amounts can cause cardiac arrest. And they're admitting they rob for cash, phones, and gold. And for a black market vial for 60 pounds, you're able to go and take this in a powder form that you use and you put it on the chest. And if it was applied on the chest, it would make somebody sleep for 3 days, basically killing them. These kind of things are coming around, and that's not good at all either. But people are bringing it up, and this is the kind of things that are going on. It's very, very serious. One of the passport bros talking about that. You never know what they might slip in your drink. You might wake up without your phone, iPad, credit cards missing, $5,000 cash. I got scoped 2 years ago. Another guy says, I woke up without my shit. I took a girl on a date. It was a Tinder girl. That's what we just talked about just before. And all this was taken. Well, also, what are you doing taking all that stuff with you? If you're going to these developing countries, you go there looking like a peasant like the rest of them. You don't go there looking like a tourist. You don't go out there spending American money thinking you're going to go ahead and get out there and you are going to just flash money. You think that's going to be working as well. No, that's a mistake. You can't be doing that. So keep that in mind. We're going to leave it there. Like I said, not a long show tonight. I got to go ahead and just wrap this up. And as I said, we have election night coming up tomorrow as I record this. But I wanted to make sure I clocked in a show tonight. And keep in mind that coming up soon here on The Depraved and Debaucherous, we will be showcasing some of the major moments that happened this year. And we'll go through what there is out there that has been very timely and very significant in the year. That was The Depraved and Debaucherous 2024. We'll do a year in review. And we'll do episodes where we'll go back and play clips. We'll listen to all the things that were going on. A lot that happened this year. But we'll go ahead and go follow back up on all that and see how it works out. And, we have some fun with it. So keep that in mind. We'll have that coming up soon. But in the meantime, take my warnings, okay? If you're going to go do the passport bro things, do not go out there thinking like you're loaded with $1 million. Do not go out there with all your stuff to get it stolen. Don't meet these people online. Just meet up. Hook up. And see if you can get into something a little depraved and debaucherous.